I was ready to do the first live stream of the channel this morning, but YouTube is telling me I have to wait 24 hours for some reason to do the first live stream. So I'll try it tomorrow, see if it works. The reason why I wanted to do the live stream is because, first of all, that's my favorite kind of content. That's the kind of content that I enjoy the most. And you see, I upload videos every day because the thing that I like the most is the interaction with the community. And it doesn't get any better than that. So I'm not sure if the channel is big enough yet to have a good live stream with many questions so it works. But I will try it and see how many of you show up. And I know I have many new subscribers that might have a lot of questions because all the information and the things that I've been learning over time is spread across many videos, and it might be difficult to find the information even for me. So if you watch a video that is 6 months old, that's not gonna have the best of my knowledge and abilities, of course, but it is still interesting to see my progression, how I've been learning over time and figuring things out. And also, the most important thing about this channel, I believe, is not that I am sharing settings for the LG C1 or my plasma TVs or anything. The most important thing is that I explain why these are the settings. And my understanding so far, I believe, is going to allow me to get the best out of any display very fast. I mean, I can buy right now any TV and get the settings that I want, get the picture that I am looking for very fast. It's not gonna take me any time because I already have a good idea about what the settings do. Okay, what is contrast, what is brightness, what is the black level, and HDR tone mapping, the color saturation, the color gamut, and it is just so easy. After you play around with those settings, you see what they do. It is so easy. And also, I understand exactly what is the problem with these HDR games that look washed out, and I know how to fix it. It doesn't matter if it's an LG C1 or a different TV. Of course, if it's a different TV, I need to have the black level control settings. If I don't have those settings, then I cannot use the TV to fix the HDR, but I can use reshade. And I'm still working on reshade, trying to figure it out better. But that's the solution. If the TV doesn't have the settings, then I can fix it with reshade. And that is the best you can learn on this channel. Because if you have a different TV, the settings that I'm sharing with you, they do not apply. But it doesn't matter because I'm explaining you why I am choosing those settings. That's the most important thing. And of course, I would like to, for everyone who watches this channel to know and understand the Blur Busters law. Because motion clarity is something that nobody talks about, to be honest. And I see time and time again, I see reviews and motion clarity is not even mentioned. And I want to know, what is the features that these TVs have, how good they are, how good is the motion clarity when you use those features. And unfortunately, maybe TV reviewers, they think it is too difficult to explain to people and that there's no way to communicate that information easily. That's why I made this. The last video I made was explaining a simple way to communicate, to test and communicate how good is the motion clarity of any display. And I think that's so important because we are getting motion clarity downgrades on these TVs. Like, we have the LG C1 with 120 FPS, OLED Motion Pro, and then the C2 removes that, the C3 removes that. and it seems like it's not coming back. And the reason why these companies would downgrade the motion clarity is because not many people know enough about it to care. And TV reviewers don't talk about it for some reason. So nobody talks about it, nobody cares. Why would they, spend money on hardware and software to make it work if nobody cares? And the reason why nobody cares is because they don't know. They don't know. After you understand motion clarity and you know how to get a good picture quality by adjusting the settings, it is a game changer and there's no going back. Anyone with a PC and an LG C1 tries the SDR HDR trick for OLED Motion Pro High, and I guarantee you, it's just gonna be blown away. It's just a different experience that's unobtainable with any other TV that we have today, unfortunately. So that has been my mission on this channel also, to try to explain the Blurbuster's law, motion clarity, because it is something that I feel we need. We need, and nobody talks about. So yeah, basically on these live streams, what I want is to see what are the questions, what are the things that I need to address maybe in a formal video, and yeah, just interact with the community and see what's going on. What is the interest? Maybe you want me to get into something else and talk about that. I want to get into a little bit into sound. I would like to get into VR, and my plan with VR is, you see this new Apple thing that is coming out. The problem is, it is Apple, okay? I'm not buying anything that's Apple. And I'm not a fan of any company, okay? I'm not like, okay, I'm an LG fanboy, I'm only gonna buy an LG TV. No way. I don't care if it's LG. And we shouldn't be fans of any company or hate any company because it's Apple. You love it or you hate it. So you shouldn't be a fan of any company, but really for me, Apple is the exception, because not because I hate them. The problem is that you know what they try to do. They try to lock you into their ecosystem, and then you have to pay for all the apps. And if you want to enjoy your shiny, brand new $3,500 headset, you need to have an iPhone and a tablet to get all the functionalities, and a MacBook Pro and all that crap. And I just hate that idea. I'm not buying into it. I'm sorry. But something similar from a different company is coming for sure, because Apple puts a step forward and somebody else is going to respond with a similar technology. So I'm definitely going to get into VR, and it's going to be something like that. It's gonna be something like that Apple VR headset. It's not a VR headset, you know what I mean, but from a different company. And I think that idea is absolutely amazing, okay? And I would pay $3,500 for that. I think it is worth it. Not from Apple. But you get the idea. So imagine you have, tremendous picture quality. We're talking about 4,000 nits, okay? Just insane picture quality. Colors, resolution. The motion clarity should be very good, especially if it's a VR headset. The Apple is not a VR headset, but you get the idea. If I get a VR headset, it's just gonna have a great motion clarity. For example, the OLED VR headsets, they have 2 milliseconds of persistence so far, okay? And 2 milliseconds of persistence is like 480 hertz, okay? So you get that motion clarity even if the FPS is like 90 FPS or 120. That is fantastic. Okay, that's just absolutely amazing. So now, are you going to get that motion clarity with 4,000 nits? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. But let's see. Let's see. That's my plan. My plan is to wait until I can get a killer headset that is not, ridiculously expensive. There are some headsets that are just insane, very, very expensive. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that makes sense. $3,000, preferably, 2,000, even better, 1,500, something like that. But yeah, that's as much as I would pay. But if I pay $3,000 for a headset, it needs to be absolutely insane, like incredible. Okay, so that's my plan. I will get into VR too. Basically, I'm going to share the things that I learned, the things that I like, and yeah, and you let me know if you want me to go into a different direction with gaming. I also want to cover more gaming. There's a lot of news and a lot of new games coming out, and I am never going to do game reviews, like a full game review, because the way I like to play the games is not one game, just beat that game and then go to the next one. I don't like to do that. I like to play and beat games, many games at the same time. So I'm playing right now like 20 games, and if I like the game, I don't want to beat it. I don't want to beat the game. I want to keep playing it. So I don't care too much about the outcome. I care about the experience. So I'm never going to do game reviews because I am playing many games at the same time, and I believe that to do a review you need to beat the game. You have to beat the game, because maybe the game is great for the first 5, 7, 10 hours, but then it is crap. It becomes repetitive and it's the same thing, and it's not worth your money. So I'm never gonna do a full game review, but I would do first impressions. I would give you my opinion just by playing it for the time I've played it, and yeah, just being excited about the technology, which games I think they look the best, because it is not the same when you watch a trailer and when you actually are running the game on your PC, because that's when you see the chromatic aberration, the motion blur, the film grain, the TAA blurriness. That's when you really see how good the game looks, how good is the HDR, if it has the black level rays, if it has nice specular highlight details, how colorful it is, how good it looks on your TV. So important. So we always need to actually test it in our system, and that's so important. So I would definitely like to talk a little bit about that, because I think that's something we are missing. We watch videos giving us a breakdown of the graphical features, and it has this ray tracing or this and that, and then when you try the game, it looks terrible. So nobody's talking about how good the games actually look when you play them in something like this, a PC and an OLED, which is going to reveal the real sharpness and fidelity of the game. And the HDR is so important. The HDR is so important. Like if you have a game like Cyberpunk, all the ray tracing, all the graphical features and fidelity, and then the HDR is crap, okay, and it just looks washed out. What's the point? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Of course we can fix it, and I talked about that too, but you get the idea. I want to talk about games on a different perspective, on a perspective that I don't see anywhere else, which is how the game actually looks, regardless of the graphical features, the sharpness of the game, the picture quality, the colors, the HDR. That is the most important thing, because you can have a game, for example, one of my favorite games right now in terms of how good it looks on my system, because that's the other thing, it needs to run well. If the game runs like crap, it doesn't matter. One of my favorite games right now to play is Sifu. That game is not graphically complex. It's just an Unreal Engine cartoonish game, but the reason why I like it is because, of course, I remove motion blur and all the crap, that all the post-processing crap that comes built into the game. So you need to edit the Unreal Engine 4 config file, unfortunately. But after you do that, it's just the same with each game. You have to do the same thing, and I share how to do that in one of my videos. After you do that, the game runs so easy. So I can push 6K if I want, and it runs at 120 frames per second. And without anti-aliasing, so I remove the anti-aliasing, it just looks so sharp and awesome. It's just absolutely incredible looking. And that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing, how good the game looks on your system. And I don't see people talking about that. And it's very, very important. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions if you have any questions. I'm doing this video freestyle. I didn't have a plan for this video, and that's what I wanted to do with the live stream. So this video has a live stream spirit. And I have the guitar in my hand because my plan was, okay, I'm gonna hit record, I'm gonna hit go live, and if nobody shows up, I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm just gonna be practicing the guitar a little bit, just doing some scales until someone shows up. But yeah, the plan is tomorrow 10 a.m. Central Time, and see if YouTube lets me do the live stream there. So let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.